Let's see what this one is. We'll soon find out. Going to leave it at 100. Going to take out some background because it's a newspaper. It's basically a newspaper piece. So we have to remove some of that damn background. I'm going to lighten it up, but not going to... Actually, no, we're not lightening it all the way. We don't want to wipe out all the colour, which we have done in the past and it looks shit house. So... let's see what we have. We have here good old Daily Telegraph, that rag. Anyway, let's just make use of this picture of the footballers. Okay, I'm not into footy, folks. I hate footy. In fact, I think it's so fucking boring. It's a waste of time. This looks even better on the back, but we're going to use the front. But basically, I just don't have time for footy. Like any kind of entertainment, it's time consuming and wasteful. I don't have a use for just keeping myself entertained, folks. And I'm just not into footy. I've never liked footy. In fact, I was brought up to hate it. I was brought up to hate football, folks, since I was a little kid. We never watched the footy as a family. We watched cricket, and I think we might have watched a bit of soccer, but we never watched the footy. The footy was off limits. We just don't have any interest in it. Wondering if we're going to use this one, or if we're going to do a better version. I'm actually thinking the back looks more animated, more interesting with all that fancy stuff. I'm just going to show you the back of it. So that's the back of it there. We're going to, I don't know if we're going to use this. Wondering if we should do the front. We'll just see how we go. We're going to reduce it to fit the page. And I think we've got a good colour scheme. So we're just going to move it around again. But basically, I was never brought up to appreciate footy. Footy was just off limits for us as children. We just didn't watch the shit. So I've just never had any kind of affinity or memories related to footy, as we Aussies call it. Footy. Footy. This looks shit house. Just wondering. We're going to just go back to the front of the bloody thing. To be honest, I think we're going to do the front again. We're going to do it in the front of these three players, whoever they are, whoever these big bruisers are who play this game. It is quite a brutal game. I mean, at least American football or gridiron, they use protective cladding, but the Australians don't wear that much protection, if at all. So they're more likely to be vulnerable to being hit, being injured. So it's a very violent kind of a game. I'm actually thinking we're going to stick with that area maybe there. But basically, yeah, footy is just so rough, and I think that's why my parents just didn't bring us up with the game. Was if my brother wanted to play, he would have been injured. He played soccer, however much he played soccer. Parents did like soccer. It was more of a gentleman's game, I think my mum thought. You know, not as much violence as a typical rugby. Rugby league is the name for the footy. Most kinds of footy is called rugby league. So it's rugby league what we're referring to. So we're just going to put this in the A5 area and overlap it there. But basically, footy normally refers to what they call rugby league. I don't know if rugby union, which is a different code, I don't know much about the shit. I know a little bit. I've heard a little bit here and there. But I know that rugby league is normally referred to as footy. here in Australia. Rugby league, footy. So yeah, that looks interesting. We got most of the writing off the image. Wondering if we're gonna make it further, lift it up a bit. I think we can lift it up a bit to get rid of all the writing. So you can get rid of the writing and maybe just trying to think where the writing is. Yeah, I think the writing is at the top. So we're just going to slide it up a bit, get rid of the writing, and we're just going to enlarge it a little bit more on the vertical. So I'm going to make the vertical a little bit larger. So going to make the vertical maybe 156 we're going with. But yeah, footy, it's called footy. You know, it's just the generic, just the common term that it is referred to as footy. And it's not my cup of tea. But a lot of people enjoy watching it. Sometimes people buy brand new televisions with the intention of watching the footy. So there's a big grand final, and often the electrical stores and the homeware stores and all that sort of shit end up making a lot of money because they end up, people end up spending all their money on brand new large screen televisions, which is crazy. It's not good for the planet to simply get rid of your old television because you want to watch the game in a higher resolution or whatever it is. It's pretty wasteful. And now we've got a low toner indication for yellow. That's a pain in the ass. But anyway, they do make a lot of money on idiots like that who just buy brand new televisions because they're going to, I'm actually thinking this is going to be more the centre, this part here. But basically people just are so stupid, you know, and that's the mentality of the football crowd sometimes, is to do illogical things like that, to spend money, you know, hard-earned money trying to, they make money out of these idiots who love football, footy. It's a really dumbass attitude to have, to buy a new television just because, yeah. I'm actually thinking this is probably not going to work out as well. I could be wrong. Yeah, unfortunately the yellow toner is getting low, which means soon it should be throwing up a toner out indication. Anyway, I'm actually thinking, I don't know if I like this. I'm actually thinking the original plan was better, so we're just going to go and swap it around, folks. I don't like my demos looking like shit because I made the wrong decision, so I'm going to just swap this around for the footy. Yeah, right. I don't fucking watch that shit. I don't watch television at the moment. I'm not interested. I've got more important things to do than just entertaining myself, folks. I've got things I have to do for my future, and I've got to think of the future of a lot of other people too. So there you have it. Now that looks interesting. I think now we can call this footy demo quits.